how good was that? That was following the Signs with their new single, Say Goodbye. I'm absolutely delighted to say that I've been joined by Dan on vocal duties, Rory on bass, and Noel on guitar. How are you, lads?
Cheers.
Grand yourself.
Thanks for having us, bud.
Thanks a million for coming down. That is some single.
Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ. What was the thought process behind that single anyway? First of all, wouldn't be a bad place to start.
I suppose we were thinking of it and we wanted to write something that just sounds something to build up into being a Circle Pit song for live and stuff, and then added all the elements of just groove and aggression with it and tried to work off that, and then Noel did his magic. And
we tried to do like what we started doing at the start. Like when we all started playing together, we all kind of liked groovy metal stuff. You can kind of like nod your head to
and stuff, is it?
So we kind of wanted to like give a hat tip to that and not write something like too complicated, because anyone can do that, with a bit of time on their hands. We just wanted to make something that was fun for us, that made us kind of look back and be like, that's what we loved, when we first started playing with each other.
Right.
So, and that's why it's the single too, because it's just kind of like, it's us.
It's definitely definitely grabs you by the balls, I'd say, lads, and forces you to listen to it. Who was behind the lyric video then?
We found a guy through an app called Fiverr, isn't under Abs in the Moon, and we were just talking to him, and I sent him the lyrics and the music, and that's what he came back to us with.
So you found him on an app?
Yeah, through our label. He used them a few times, like the actual label manager we have, and with his own band. So he was like, try this guy out and see what he thinks.
Yeah, and being a Trash fan as well as everything else, I love the Sirens at the start. Have you got an interesting story in relation to that?
I don't think so. We were just kind of thinking of stuff to add in because we got asked about it, and they were like, do you want to add in any intros? And
it was going to be something else though, wasn't it? What was
it?
Like the Day of the Dead one, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, we have that one. We added that one in too.
But
we added a quote from Dawn of the Dead into another song.
Okay,
but
cool.
It's just a good idea to have stuff like that if it just sets the mood of the song.
Does, fucking hell, like it's like a warning sign.
Yeah, we wanted it to, like, when you hear it, especially over taking a break for so long as well. So when you hear it, it was just kind of like, oh, something's happening.
Like, oh, they're back.
Yes, they certainly are. With a debut EP called Far From Over, and that's coming out on the 18th of October via Too Loud Records and Wormholedeath. Explain the record label side of things. How did you get their attention, or did they find you? Or
I actually seen one of the lads posting in a group on Facebook I was in at the time, saying they were taking submissions for bands to apply, and so I got onto him, sent him the demo we had out at the time, which was our self-titled one, and within a few days he got back to me saying he was interested in having us on, and we kind of spoke with him then for a while. I think maybe about 4 or 5 months before we signed anything.
Right.
And from there then it just kind of went on.
And where are they based?
In Ferrara in Italy.
Okay. Like, we seen that, obviously, because or the guy who actually manages us is in the band himself,
right? And
he goes around, touring and stuff.
So who's that?
And Ricky is his name.
Right, Ricky.
Actually, how would you pronounce his second name? Anyway, it's Ricky, and he's in a really good kind of like punk band. And before we signed, we kind of like, we seen that, he was like, oh, he'll gig here or there and everywhere and everything about it, and we kind of liked it, like, but we had nothing to kind of show him. So we just gave him the demo. It's kind of like a shot in the dark. And he liked it, so we worked on this EP with him, and this EP took a bit of time as well, because like 7 songs, that's a lot of songs for an EP as well. It is. And especially the time of all of them, like, they're all kind of like well thought out. So it's kind of, it was really nice to kind of work with him and give him that much amount of music and for him to be able to really sit down and be like, all right, this is how you want it, and just be like,
that's a funny one actually. It's you could have easily called it an album.
Yeah,
almost there.
We're going for like for an album, for us, we'd say about 11.
Right.
So like 7, it wasn't enough to call it an album.
Right.
Plus, like, to be honest, we're very honest with ourselves as well. Like, it's not an album. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not the quality we'd want it to be for an album.
But like in a sense, like, it would mostly just build off the first 3 songs.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a big extension to everything. Like,
obviously none of us have seen the artwork yet, the listeners and me, of course. So can you give us any idea of what the artwork is like? Is it a picture, or is it a work of art? Or?
It's very simple, but what's funny about it is it actually means something. Like there's things in it. It's only the one kind of thing, but like it actually, like from playing shows while making this EP and making like literally making the EP while we were gigging, being like, oh, people like this kind of tempo to stuff, so we'll put this in as well, and really expanding on it. It's little stories that we had on the road with certain incidents, and it's actually in the EP thing, but it, like if you want in our circle, you wouldn't really get it, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's really
I'm
good.
interested.
It's pretty simple, yeah. It's just
The themes then, in relation to the new EP, what kind of themes did you explore? Are they kind of angry with the world? Are they different personal themes? Are they?
It's got a mix of everything in a
Right.
way, because there's just certain songs you could be saying like, oh yeah, he's just pissed off.
Yeah,
or,
okay,
you know.
that's fair enough too.
And then there's just other ones where you're like, oh, what's going on? Like, is he mad? Is he just confronting stuff? You just don't really know.
okay, so
It kind of keeps it interesting in that
Right.
sense, because it just mixes it up
Yeah.
in all of them.
Like we try and do our thing as well, like, but in different ways. So like where we'd have like let's say, if I was just going off the top of my head, we'd have like out of the 7, like 3 of them are like really kind of like Slipknotty kind of songs,
Right.
where it's just kind of like it's hectic and there's riffs and it's just like, you know, it's mad screaming at good
Yeah.
rhythms.
Yeah.
But another side then is kind of like, it's like a 4-minute song of something. It's really groovy and it's got really good riffs, but it's kind of happy
yeah.
at the same time. So it's just taking what we do and like putting it in different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah,
Really.
there's different shades then really
Yeah,
through the
perfect.
EP, yeah. So Disengage is the first one. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that was the first one written,
Yeah.
where we
Yeah.
were like, right, this will definitely make the EP.
Okay.
It was the first one, I remember it, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a kind of song where you could listen to all the riffs, and it's just like pure groovy, but then it has a chorus where kind of like it all swells together.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you wouldn't expect like
Yeah.
that kind of chorus in this
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of song kind
In
of
a,
deal.
in a nice way, because it kind of like breaks into something, and you're just kind of like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's,
And then of course then, because it starts like always with us, we get a breakdown. We
Yeah.
love them. We're built off them.
Yeah,
We just
good.
are.
it really is, yeah.
I love
'cause
that we're built off.
It's just one of those upbeat songs
Yeah.
that still got like a bit of balls to it. Like,
Yeah.
so
Nice.
everything just comes in colliding
Got little
one
twists
after the
here
other.
and there,
Yeah.
but like it
Yeah.
gets back to the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second song then is Spineless. Any memories of recording that?
Yeah, that's very kind of like put together in a kind of wasn't more or less a groove way. It was kind of like we want to write a song that's like just different, but like different in a way where it was like, instead of like having breakdowny riffs and stuff, it was like it'll have a catchy chorus,
Right.
it will have its verse, it'll have a bridge, it will have a nice interlude, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Like
So that's
and it's
all in
just-
that.
yeah, it's nice.
just-
It's just another song that we can
kind of
listen to and
very
you'd be like,
straightforward.
Yeah.
that's us, but we wouldn't think at the time it was us, because we didn't try and write a song like that.
Withdrawn is
That was a fun one.
actually the lads gave us Withdrawn, luckily enough, to finish the show with tonight. So thanks for that one, lads. That's an
No problem at all.
exclusive. I love it.
Thank you.
I love that
I
one
wasn't
because
expecting it, being truthful.
Wasn't that, yeah, that was like
that's the thing.
that was
it
like
was
the first proper one me and you actually like did
Yeah.
put both our riffs into it. So it wasn't just like, oh lads, I came up with a song there, I'll have it ready for
Yeah.
next week. It was like me and him sat down and we went by it riff by riff,
literally
picking
we
which
made
ones
it
we
like
wanted.
literally
like.
together. We were in Dan's house
Okay.
and we
sitting
were there
in the
drinking
kitchen.
for the night, and we literally had a bass and an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
But like
Really?
yeah, but
Yeah.
The bass
the
wasn't even
bass
plugged
was
in
like,
or not.
the bass was fucking god awful. I mean, like there was literally gunk on the strings and everything. And like we just wrote this song Withdrawn, and we were writing down on sheets of paper when we had another riff, and when we could add this, that, and the other.
Don't forget this now. Don't forget this.
And
Should
we
I
came up-
record this?
We came up with like 14 riffs, and we were like, all right, let's try and cut it a small bit. So like
That was so tough, man.
about 9 riffs made it, and we just
Yeah.
cut it all together, but did it in like, you know, a way where it's like, oh, that goes into that nicely, and
Yeah.
that breaks off nicely.
Yeah, it was
So
just a fun
trying to
song
find
as
which
well.
one
Like,
goes
Yeah,
where.
so being the third song, it sits nicely in contrast with the other ones. The next one is The Dead Don't Lie.
One of my favorites.
yeah, that's
Okay.
the
One of
one
my
that we were talking about. That's got
favourites.
the Dawn of the Dead quote on it.
Okay.
It's just kind of
it actually starts like Say Goodbye, but instrumentally. It's not like a siren, but it's kind of like it starts with guitars, but it's very kind of like semitone, evil kind of build up,
right.
and then
It's
it kind of
eerie.
has like a rap kind of drum beat to it,
Yeah.
and then it just breaks into like it was just
Deadly.
like it reminds me of a Slipknot song,
Okay.
without sounding like a Slipknot song.
Yeah, it's got some elements in there that's sick like that.
So the sixth one is Say Goodbye, which I love. The last one then, Reflections. Interesting title to finish the E EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it was just one of those songs where it was kind of the one that even I came around to last. Like I was maybe 3 songs behind when we were writing,
Okay.
and everybody was like, "Do you have anything for that?" And I was sitting there kind of going, "No, I really have nothing." And then
Okay.
But I think it's because it's one of the closest ones to us, though. Do you
Yeah,
know,
it
like-
was.
Yeah,
yeah.
like, cause you were on the spot, but like that only made you more like I don't know, truthful
Yeah.
with it, like, cause
And
what
yeah.
you're actually going through, like.
Yeah, it was just a
Just
very
making it
kind of
serious,
like, I don't know. You'd say, I don't know, was it like it's just confronting your own feelings about stuff in life, like, and
Yeah.
just came out that way. And then by the time I had heard, I think it was the middle part that Noel wrote on guitar, and
Yeah, that gets melodic.
yeah, and then it just hit me then, and I went off. I wrote the whole song that night, and
Really,
yeah,
yeah.
a few weeks later, then we were in the studio getting it ready. So
Like me and him actually sit down in the house, and he'll turn around to me, like, let's say now if we're just chatting out of nowhere, and he'll start miming that, you know, that part of the song, because there's parts in the song that we wrote where it's like, oh, like, you know, like 14-year-old could see that
Yeah.
version of it, like
Yeah.
they'd love it, like.
Yes.
Just
It's
going
a-
around humming riffs
like
and then
going
they do
around
harmonics
yeah.
of it or something. Then
going around
like,
this little emo, just going, holy shit.
So yeah, so that's great then. So the 18th of October. Any kind of information on the title of the EP, Far From Over?
Yeah,
So
we call it Far From Over because, like, do you know, like, being in a band, especially, do you know, when you all have your own lives and stuff
Yeah.
like this, and, you know, we've been in bands together since we were like,
well, how old was it?
I think I met Rory
met
when
you-
he was like 16.
I was 16 when I met you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say you were about same, nearly.
yeah, I'd
maybe
say I
younger.
would say I was even 15 when you met me.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
So since
So
about
about
4 or 5 years, maybe
5 years,
6,
nearly the bones of
we've all
6 now.
been-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels like we've just, like,
We're just starting, yeah.
Yeah.
came out of the shadow and kind of been like, do you know, this
Maybe
is
it
what
just
we want to show
needed.
people.
Maybe it just needed that amount of time, you know. As
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yes.
definitely
Yeah.
did, yeah. Like,
Like
I
there's
didn't
songs
play-
we've wrote in the past, even like that we look at now and we're like, ha, look at
Yeah,
that.
like,
and,
at
we're
the
just
time
like,
we thought were brilliant.
Yeah. Like, I've been playing with them since I'm like 15, but I didn't play on the stage until I was 18.
right.
So, you know, I just spent a couple of years locked in a room with them, just writing
Yeah.
and getting
Yeah.
better and writing and getting better.
Yeah.
So, like, now doing this, and like, it kind of feels like everything is coming together, but it feels weird in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because
Okay.
like,
yeah.
we're doing all this mad stuff now. Do you know
Mm.
that we're kind of laughing at, and you know,
Yeah, it's like stuff when you're younger, you'd be like, oh, I'd love to do this now that we're there. We're doing the things we've talked about a bit. Like, we're just kind of going,
we're actually trying. Like,
It's
do you know what I mean?
surreal of
So,
it, like.
so it's
yeah.
just kind of like we're just kind of saying, like, you know, it's far from over.
So
like,
what's your average age then?
I'm 25.
I'm
do it.
20.
20?
I'm
I'm
20.
21 then.
Okay. Jesus, lads, you're fierce. Young altogether. So
Yeah.
this is the old man in the corner. Jesus Christ. That age profile, it's more or less the age profile of a lot of the people that are actually going to the gigs in Cork.
That'd be
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, there you go. Like, straight away, they can identify with someone like you know?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We have an EP launch on the 24th of October.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
that in Fibber McGee's.
So,
No,
like,
it's
kind
in
of...
Spailpin.
Oh,
We're not in Dublin this time, but
I'm so used to saying Fibbers. I love Fibbers.
yeah.
I could have edited it there for you, but no.
yeah. Dan has me on that one.
That's the first and last one I'm getting. So,
So, kind of, how hard is it then for a band like you to build up an audience?
Really hard because, like, as you talk about, you know, like, you know, the scene in town and stuff, like, I don't really, like, know a lot of, like, the people because I didn't go to school with, like, you know, anyone from town, or, like, you know, I didn't start hanging around in town until I was about 17, and even
Okay.
at that, it's only because like, Dan and stuff lived in there, so
yeah.
I was never really in town, so no one really knows me. They only know me from being in Following the Signs.
And where were you?
I'm actually from the north side of
Okay.
Cork. I used to live out in Ballyvillan.
Right.
So I was never really around town. I was always kind of like, you know,
At home.
Blackpool and at home and, you know, stuff like that. And
Learning the riffs.
yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember I was like, what was it? I think it was 3 years ago. It was New Year's Eve. like my whole family, everyone, they were in like the front room, you know, getting ready to celebrate it. I was just in my kitchen by myself with a guitar, just playing for hours. You know, because like, I don't know, it's the only thing that really like
That's
I
what
like
you do,
doing.
man. That's what you do. Yeah,
So-
cool. So kind of getting back to the original question, building an audience. You've got social media, I suppose,
Yeah.
first of all.
Social media is
Helps
kinda-
a lot as well, like,
Right.
especially
Yeah.
nowadays. It's there, like. It's
I think as well,
available.
if you work hard, people will see.
Yes.
So, like,
yeah, you kind
even-
of got to be active on social medias, especially like you
or even
can't
like, you know,
kinda slack.
shows and
You
like,
have to
you
do
know,
your gigs then as well.
yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Kind of
Um,
have to talk the talk and then walk it afterwards. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of way. It's kind of like
And like as well as that, the more shows you play, the more bands you get to know, and bands will kind of definitely swap.
Oh yeah.
You know, if they're from Dublin, they'll get you up, and vice versa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we've a lot of friends. Like we've
Yeah.
friends, we've bands in Limerick, we've bands in Dublin. You know,
Yeah.
like we're actually well, I suppose I might as well say it, but we're actually playing shows outside of Cork again in December, and
Right.
it'll be more than one.
Okay.
But
good.
I just
Yeah.
don't know what date or anything
Yeah,
yet,
yeah.
so I just can't say anything. But,
Yeah.
and that's thanks to bands that we know outside of Cork, you know, who want
Yeah.
to gig with us, and vice versa. You know, us
Yeah,
putting on our own show. Now we're going to see how that goes, but everything turned out to be fairly like, you know, not as intimidating as we thought it would.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was very easy.
it's
to
something
kinda
we'll
get
probably keep
together.
doing in the future as well, because like we only asked for like 4 bands to play on the bill with us, and like
Yeah.
18 bands, 19 bands got onto us.
Really.
So
Yeah,
like,
good
that's
few
good to
kind of
hear,
got
man.
in touch, and even at that, like most people were like, "Oh, if you need us, if someone drops out,
Yeah,
we'll be
like,
ready." Like
it's there
Yeah.
if you want it. Like,
it's been
So-
very good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and getting momentum as well behind this EP, you know. Right. So like I'm delighted to have you on the show
Thank
as
you.
well, which
thanks,
is
very
delighted
much
to be here.
which
Yeah,
is
we
great.
are.
Fair play to you for coming on. Is there one of you out there then between the 5 of you that kind of concentrates on trying to drum up, I suppose, business or gigs for you?
I'd say Noel.
Yeah, like,
Noel's
I
our
like-
main guy on
Okay.
social medias and
But
stuff like.
to be fair, like anything that goes through me will obviously go through Dan as well. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like the odd person might come to me first and be like, "Would you be interested in this, or would you be interested in this?" But
yeah,
as if I had to say, as a collective, I wouldn't take all the credit, because Dan is a fair good help as well, because you know
Yeah.
Dan's a fairly popular guy. You know, he knows a lot of people as well, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
They'd know him, like, from
Yeah.
anywhere, like, because he used to be in town so often with people as well. You'd make friendships with him. Like.
yeah. I kind
So-
of just used to tend to go
Like
gravitate.
even when we're playing up in
group to
Dublin,
group.
like there was a band. What was the band called?
Uh,
E1 or something. Who was
Which
Oh,
band?
A Night in the Snow.
A Night in the Snow? Another band we were playing with in Dublin.
Okay.
Like we didn't know any bands going up, and like we walked in the room, and then people were just like, "Oh, Dan, this, that," and they were coming over to Dan. We were in a different county. We were like, "What's going on?" Everyone
it's
just
like,
knows Dan. Like.
It's like who even knows?
And what about Metal to the Masses and shows like that? They're important as well. For
Oh, we
bands.
played.
Yeah, we played the
Yeah.
quarter final actually last year, and I'd say we finished third. Like, but
What
Yeah.
was it?
we
It
won't
was
say nothing.
Dirty Power and Creep with the other bands, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they
Dirty
were
Power
really
and Creep
good.
won it on the crowd,
And
and
we got back then. They called us back up for the wildcard then after that, but unfortunately we couldn't, because you know it wasn't in the schedule, and we
Okay.
only got hit with it like 2 weeks before it.
Right.
So we
not
just
even,
kind of like, we can't do it. Like,
Okay.
But yeah, no, we'd definitely probably give it another crack at some point.
oh yeah,
Definitely interested in it.
The scene itself is very strong at the moment. So
Oh, yeah.
for a band that are releasing an EP and are actively pursuing gigs, you're always keeping one eye towards the UK.
yeah. We're actually in talks about that as
Good.
well.
Good to hear. Yeah.
We've kind of, even at that, like, we've been offered a few places like
Yeah.
that just weren't possible for us at the time, but
Yeah.
we've got offered like Czech Republic and stuff like that, and
So-
Slovakia, a few
Right.
places, and
And
do
And
kind
we're
of
all
like-
just mapping out right now, but
Yeah,
like
trying to figure it out.
hopefully like it'll come
Yeah.
to fruition.
Because, like, if we do go over there, it'll only help, because the metal scenes over there are just so much bigger than here then as well.
Like the worst thing you could do is say your plans out loud, but I'd say we'd definitely be playing outside Ireland by 2020.
Good.
Definitely.
Good to hear.
definitely heading over at some point. Yeah,
Because like even with this 7-song EP, like the EP isn't even out yet, but like we have music there, you know, to
Yeah.
test first as well. So
Okay.
it'd be nice going away somewhere.
So yeah. So you'll have you've got enough for a headline set, no problem.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'd cover an
definitely.
hour definitely.
Yeah.
Like even
Yeah.
more.
And would if you were to do a cover, Is there any obvious
Corn
ones?
blind.
It was blind.
Blind
yeah.
by Corn, yeah.
He was always
Straight away.
blind by
That was
Corn.
too fast Noel.
Or Rory's
We-
personal
like,
favourite he
we-
wants is My Own Summer by the Deftones.
Oh,
such a
that's-
good tune though. Just the drums at the start, man.
That's class.
Cool.
It was brilliant.
So that's cool, man. If you've got a 60-minute headline set behind you, happy days. You know, you'll just go
Yeah.
from strength to strength. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
On our EP launch, we'll be doing about 45. Because,
Okay.
you know, the EP, like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we could definitely cover up an hour if we wanted to.
Yes. Yeah. And what do you think of the independent scene anyway in Ireland at the moment?
Really good,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of bands that's like, you know, they're not afraid to get out and, you know, book gigs. And what's
Yeah.
nice about it as well, you see bands kind of like coming together because, you know, you see them on the same show sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know, so it's nice. Do you know, you can really tell there's people trying to help other people out
Yeah.
as well, and not just be like, oh, look at me, and trying to drown everyone. Do you know, it's
Yeah.
it's friendly, and everyone's kind of like, everyone just like keeps to themselves, but like, if someone needs help somewhere or something, someone will come knocking. Do you
Yeah.
know, so it's
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Yeah,
One
it's,
big
it's very
community
strong,
kind of
yeah.
deal, like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Jack Hanlon now from God Alone, like he actually stood in for one of our gigs because we were out a drummer, and
Oh,
like
really,
he
yeah?
actually came all the way up
Yeah.
to Dublin with us to do it. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
to be
So,
fair
like,
to him, he came
yeah,
in
like-
as well within like 2 weeks, learned all our songs, and he was just like,
Why,
Yeah.
why that
He's-
just doesn't surprise me. you
he's
know?
oh,
Jack
he's an
such a good
animal
man,
with
like.
a kid.
yeah, he's great. Like,
Probably laughed his way through the game.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, man. You did play the Templemore Metal Fest, didn't you?
we were meant to, but we were also down a drummer for that.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I saw you down for that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 days before, the day before
Yeah.
we kind
Our
of
drummer
got hit.
broke his wrist.
Oh Jesus! What was he doing? Playing hurling? Or
I
something?
haven't. I don't even know. All I know is that Syke kind of worked with his family and stuff, and he just like sent me a picture on Snapchat like 12 at night, 2 days before, and he was like, "Yeah, my wrist is broke," and I was like,
Fuck,
I really
yeah.
didn't want to pull out a Temple moment. We could have halved it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so-
even if we could get like a standing drummer, who's going to do it in 2 days?
In 2 days, like that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
and I think Jack Hannon actually had a gig the same day
All right. And
in Cork. So
okay, well, that's,
Unfortunately,
he's a
yeah.
busy man
So,
anyway.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which is fair. Like, so
Did you hear the new single by God Alone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah.
it's cool. The
Yeah.
video is excellent as well.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. I love hearing the lads' stuff when they come out. To be
Yeah.
fair,
I saw him actually playing there with By Curious and the Dali there. It was
Oh.
it was weird seeing him kind of. I think they were second act on. We Come in Pieces were first. God
Yeah.
Alone. We Come in Pieces were brilliant actually. Shout out
Yeah.
to the lads. Then God Alone came on. Wearing these what would you call them? Japanese fucking
Kimonos,
kimonos,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
kimonos.
right.
They're fucking class, man. And then By Curious then finished the night off, and they were fucking brilliant too. But again, another great venue, the Dali as well. So like in Cork,
Yeah,
like
it
you've
is.
got like 4 probably really good potential places for
Yeah,
bands.
definitely.
That's it,
And
yeah,
everyone
you know?
knows where they are as well. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's not like, you know, people are going to get lost or
Yeah.
anything. So
Yeah,
it's really good. It's very local.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
under better to get that fucking entertainment centre up though. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that means then we can
Yeah.
get into like some Macedon and other, you know, kind of
Really open up the gate.
yeah, really open it. Yeah,
It's fucking nuts at the moment because we're starved down here, like for big bands coming through, like
yeah.
Yeah, who was the last big band that actually came?
think it
Rotten
was-
Christ.
Really?
Rotten Christ, yeah, for
Oh, yeah, that's
Con's
right.
Monolith. I mean,
Because like that's the problem. Like they see Ireland, oh Dublin, and then they just leave it at that. Then
yeah,
like
it
Yeah, it's
just-
always Dublin or Belfast kind of get the main big acts coming
know.
through, and then
especially like if you're a younger guy, like you know, a younger kid, like, because I remember being 18, just fucking going up to Dublin on my own on a bus to see Megadeth and Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's just fucking.
But that's another
crazy.
thing as well. Like people complain that, like, you know, the metal scene is dying or this, that, and the other. But it's just like, well, come to places that you're supposed to come to, and you know,
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
because like it is hard for like, especially, you know, in certain areas of Cork, it is hard for like a kid to be a metalhead when, like, you know, it's bad enough he's probably the only metalhead around him, you know.
yeah,
But like no one's coming to like his hometown to play any shows or anything, and it's
Yeah.
all like, you know, like Cardi B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Or
disrespect
Lil
that,
Pump.
but there's no metal coming to Cork.
Yeah.
There's metal coming to Ireland, but there's no metal coming to Cork, and it never made sense to me because Cork is very big. So
yeah. I think the only metal we actually had besides that, and big act wise, would be Slayer.
Slayer,
and the
yeah,
Marquee.
Slayer.
I was at
Marquee,
that
yeah.
show. Yeah,
Yeah, and the
they're
song
good
was
for that
shit,
though.
man.
Yeah,
yeah, it
but
was pretty bad. That
terrible.
was rough that night.
they're good
Yeah.
for that though. Coming to Cork.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
always kind of.
Slayer, Macedon, Megadeth, they're the only ones that come to mind, you know. There's nothing like the buzz of being around the city when a big fucking metal band comes.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
just feel
Like,
connected
you can-
as well to everyone.
And like as I said, you could inspire fucking Jesus Christ shitloads more.
Exactly, do you know?
But
Like, there's nothing better than going to a gig to one of your favourite bands and seeing them play in front of you and being
Yeah.
like, I want to do that.
yeah,
Do you know?
exactly.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah.
But as I said, what's there is we have a thriving independent Cork metal scene, and it's just getting people now to come and go and see the gigs.
Yeah, it's just. I think that's always been a problem though, is trying to get people in the door, because you'd be anticipating, just from what's said on Facebook, like 30 people going and then 15 show up, and you're
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, but where's the other 15? It's like,
Well, once we've great promoters around the city as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we do.
really do.
So like once they don't clash either,
Oh, no.
I remember another time, just like there was something like 3 fucking gigs on, 3 kind of metal gigs on at the one time, the one night. And I was
Yeah.
just
yeah,
going,
that was actually one
know,
of our
fuck
shows.
that.
That happened to
Yeah.
us, actually. We were, we were playing, but the same night.
Whiplash, I think the Metallica
Whiplash
cover band
were
were playing in
so we were
Fred's.
just kind of like, oh, that's going to look rough, that one. Like, do you know?
So yeah, it hit you. Do you reckon it hit you, kind of attendance wise?
Oh, big time, 100%.
Yeah, I think there was only like, besides like 2 people we knew, there was just the other bands and like 3 others
Yeah,
maybe,
it
if
was
we were
like-
lucky.
It was
Yeah.
definitely like the smallest crowd we've ever played.
Yeah.
But like, what you expect, like, it's Whiplash. People are going to
Yeah.
go to Whiplash.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely.
But in a situation like that, I mean, obviously it's fucking downheartening, but like, do you still?
Or you
just-
carry on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
because you've got
playing-
the other members of bands watching anyway.
yeah, and you're kinda
Sometimes you
like-
just make it more fun, because when you're playing, there's like, like Dirty Casuals were playing as well. And as I was walking in, to watch their set after fag, like Jim was calling me out on the mic, when he was on
Yeah.
stage. Like, it's just funny as well,
Yeah.
like, because we know that like they're so like kind of little people now. We've like more leeway,
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of
But,
you are able to kind of be experimental more, like with crowds
yeah,
and stuff. You can
100%.
kind of like, you can take the mick out of everybody and be like, call that a pit, like. But whereas if you're playing to a big crowd, people probably just start crying, like, and be like, I'm sorry.
It's interesting actually. I was looking at your launch date, which is the 24th, and the Spailpin, and the 24th is a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. That's traditionally a student night out.
Thirsty Thursday.
That's it.
Yeah, Thursday, Thursday. That's kind of what we were.
Come in and listen to a
That's
few
like-
songs.
Just like spend money on drinking, just
Yeah,
start the mosh pit, even if you don't like metal.
And Red Sunlord did the same thing as well. Did their launch on a Thursday as well. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a good night to do a
That's it,
launch,
I think it's
especially
a
in
good
Cork.
idea. I think it's a good idea. Are you going to send a few posters out to UCC
Yeah.
and all that? Yeah.
Definitely,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll probably
And,
get some printed there.
Hopefully,
soon
we
enough.
have hard copies of the EP on the way to us right now. So hopefully they
Nice.
get here for the end of the month, so we can have them there as
Keep
well.
one
We
for
have
me,
it,
lads.
Oh, definitely,
Definitely,
100%.
Yeah, I think students are the key here, lads. I think it's a big one that people are missing out on. Just going out and putting fucking 5 or 6 posters on a board by the canteen in
Yeah.
UCC, or what's the other place?
St. John's, College
yeah.
of Commerce. There's loads. Of
Yeah,
places,
there's
loads.
actually
Just
quite a
put the
few
physical
places.
fucking poster there, you know.
Yeah.
and
Just stick it up.
with
Yeah.
a fucking discount of €1 off or something. Like
Posters
that, you
now
know.
for us will be going up during the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
yeah. It's
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be
Because I genuinely don't think social media is enough sometimes for a gig.
Not
I think
at all.
An actual hard physical poster in your face. Do you know that great place actually, which I always go into and eat in, and I always spend 20 minutes eating my pizza, looking at all the
Fast
post-
ads.
fast ads.
Fast ads. Only like 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
yeah.
You will
yeah.
find out
it's definitely
everything
somewhere.
that's going on in the city in a whole month on that wall.
it's
there,
in a
like.
good place as
That's
well.
it, like if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
sitting down having your food, you're gonna look around as well.
Yeah.
Like it just helps so much.
Yeah.
Then
So, as I said, I wouldn't be kind of relying totally on social media.
No.
So yeah, that's a good one. So the bands that are playing with you, The Risen Dread. Tell me about them.
Yeah, they hit us up to play the show, and I was actually really surprised about them, because I have to be honest, I didn't hear of them beforehand.
Okay.
And I was texting William from the Risen Dread, and I was like, yeah, sure, we'll give it a look and stuff. And I linked everything to the lads and stuff. But I then took it upon myself to give it a look, and I heard him. I was like, whoa! I was like, they're
Yeah.
so good. I was like,
Right.
what?
Yeah.
So I think I waited for like 2 responses from the rest of the band, and I was like, that's good enough to play in the show. Like,
yeah, it's kind of just like,
Where are they from, or
And,
what kind of music do they play?
I can't remember where they're from, but they're very kind of like, geez, I don't want to, like, I hate branding other bands now, but they're very kind of like metalcore, but more on the heavier kind of side of it, you know what I mean? But they're very melodic as well in parts, and like they're really nice, and their vocalist he's very good. I like him.
All right, Fanach.
They're actually a band that we've played with before.
they're beasts.
Sound bunch of lads, we love them. And,
Rory's giving it the big thumbs up.
They're very kind of Parkway Drivey kind of style band. There's just something about
Proper
them.
heavy, like that's
they're very kind of like, you know, they'll start hectic, but like halfway through the song they'll break it down, and then
can get technical and stuff, but they're fucking beasts.
They'd work well with us live as well. It's very
that's cool. Yeah. We stole Sarda.
Yeah, we met them the same way.
Mikey,
we met Fornout the same night. We actually supported We Stole Saturday at their EP launch.
There you
go then. So you returned the favour then. Nice.
It's kind of just, we got to, I think you reached out to him, wasn't it? To
Joey,
I
reached out to their vocalist Joey, and I was just like, you know, would you like to do a show in Cork? Because, you know, they're not from Cork, and you know, it was nice them having Dublin, us up for their EP launch, and they're good. Do you know, I like them. So I said it to them, and they accepted. So I was like,
cool.
Job done.
The last band on the bill is Organ Blender.
Yeah, I really like them. I really like them.
They're
I'm
also
so
a Dublin band. Yeah, I think they actually.
They'd definitely be the, like, if you were to bunch all the bands together and hear them, they'd be like the most diverse.
Okay.
They sound kind of like, they've very kind of like, I don't want to say it like, but like they're very kind of like thrashier compared to the other bands on the bill, you know.
Yeah, they've got it.
I love that, because I love, like, the whole reason I started listening to metal was because, you know, thrash metal. Like, so I have a kind of soft spot for all kind of metal. If I hear it, it's good, you're on.
Yeah, but I think they're all mostly Dublin based as well, which is cool because like
most of them, 1 or 2 or 3 is from other places. It's just I don't really take account into where they're from. It's just like if they're playing that show, they're playing that show.
When I listen to the Followed in the Signs as well, I find that a lot of it is kind of, I can hear the riffs and the trash elements there. There's metalcore there. There's quite a lot in there to appeal to quite a diverse audience, you know, that will show up hopefully on the night of the launch.
Hopefully.
I think that was kind of the plan too. With the new EP was kind of like, we were like, instead of writing something that sounds similar in each song, why not just take everything, throw it on its head, and just add everything? But
that's where we want to be as well. Like, we don't want to be like, you know, all the other bands, with all due respect. Like, but we just kind of like, you know,
so like kind of like, you know, if you listen to one song and you listen to it just for that one guitar solo, whereas like I'd prefer to listen to a song if it has like just one particular riff that I like and just keep that repeating. That's what I prefer to listen to sometimes.
Yeah,
like.
We're just very kind of like
outside the box.
Yeah, we just want to like write what we want to write, and like not worry about if someone's like, oh, that's too dirty, or that's like, you know, like that's the tone is a bit rough. Like, we don't care.
Like this, the Cork scene, the perception of the Cork scene at the moment, and I know because I actually had to change kind of a lot of my music taste to kind of really go to the gigs and then kind of go, yes, I actually fucking like it. It's stoner doom sludge. You know, and no, I never was into that. I think the changing point for me with that was 10 Ton Slug here and
then. They're really good.
They're years ago now that was for Bloodstock, and I mean, fucking hell, this kind of Celtic Frost riffs in there that I kind of like from old death metal stuff, you know. So I was thinking, I'm gonna give this a chance, and within 2 years I was immersed in it. And like Mark Morrissey, he's big into his stoner doom, and Con as well from Paranoid Beast, you know. So that's their buzz. That's the bands they get in, and they're the gigs I'm going to now, and I fucking love them. But then,
Paranoid Beast, they're top lads. I like.
Yeah, they really are.
I love what you're doing then, because it kind of just is a throwback to fucking what I kind of really love as well. You know,
it's good because like it's different as well. Do you know what I mean? Like you could hear one of our songs and you'd be like, that's Following the Signs. Do you know, it's very kind of like, it's different, but it's distinctive, so it's good.
It's kind of a reminder as well, like with, I suppose, with the stuff we all actually listen to individually as well. Like,
what do you listen to?
Like, that's the thing with us. Like, it's like, so diverse. Like, I normally, on an average, I sit down listening to rap music all day long. Like, or
that's
just,
your thing,
or even Pachelbel, the pianist.
Okay,
classical
silence.
music.
But
Yeah,
like, yeah, exactly.
Piano,
Exactly. Like,
Give us a chance, we'll Google it. We'll get back to you then.
but like, you know, of course, like, you know, obviously we're all metalheads, but like we're just all like completely different. Whereas I grew up listening to kind of like the older kind of like Megadeth, Metallica, you know, the big four, and like, you know, Exodus then, and you know, Slayer, and you know, I was really into like, you know, my E flat on guitar, basically, you know what I mean? Like, and then as I grew up, you know, I kind of like, I never really messed with kind of like metal that was like running in the thousands, because I was just like, it's not the metal I like.
yeah.
But then I got into it as, you know, I matured, and like, you know, I dropped the cliches.
Yeah.
And you know, I got into bands like Slipknot, and I got into like As I Lay Dying, and just it's so like diverse now.
Are you, if not, like you're surely a technical player. So are you?
Like I am, like when it comes to like me sitting down to myself.
Yeah.
And like if I'm just playing to myself, I'm very technical.
Yeah.
But like I always said it, because I think the best mindset to have in a band is like, all right, if I'm going to write a song with them, that doesn't mean I have to write to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
It means I have to write what they want.
You have to find the hook.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with them, do you know, like, obviously, like, my playing skills is, like, 10 times better than what I do in the band, because, you know, it's all just kind of, like, heavy, kind of, really well-driven riffs, but they're more thought out than technical.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's like, look what's behind this, rather than look what I'm doing here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, so...
Well, that's a cool perspective, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes you'd kind of wonder, like, you know, there's some great guitarists out there, and as you said, no, like they just rather get the riff, the drive behind it, rather than fucking dovetailing off on a million and one fucking.
You're going to make it too complicated. You know? Like, you have to remember, you're playing with, like, especially me, I'm playing with 4 other people.
Yeah.
Like, I can throw hard bits in here and there, and like, you know, we could add in solos or whatever, but like, I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm not gonna write something completely different that I just thought of one day that I think's really good. That's
so you're keeping it for the solo album, man, down the line.
Keeping it for myself. Like, I have like, not messing, I have like 20 songs written that like I won't even touch off the band, just because it's literally got nothing got to do with them. Because if I put it on an EP or a record with them, it doesn't sound like Following the Signs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's key, just to be able to recognise that.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
What about you, Rory?
I suppose, what did I start? I mostly grew up listening to, what was it, System of a Down, Korn, and Gorillaz, because my sister had the 3 CDs. And then, of course, she wanted me to stay in hers. Like, she was always big into, like, Bullet for My Valentine Now and all this kind of stuff. Okay. But I don't know. I just didn't like the way it sounded for me. And then it was mostly 70s rock stuff I went on to then. Like, loads of Rush, loads of stuff like that. And then it was Black Sabbath then. And it was gone after that then. Just Black Sabbath, like. That's all it was. And
were you listening mostly from a kind of a bass point of view, or were you kind of more, again, guitar driven?
It was mostly the times, if I remember the songs, I'm usually listening to the drums most of the time.
Really, yeah?
Because like there's just some like drum fills, like there's a band called Helmet now.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
they only played the other night.
Just like
Dublin, yeah.
Just like I don't know, just mostly drum and bass is what I listen to.
Right.
That doesn't mean I don't appreciate the other stuff as well though, but like I don't know, just a good solid foundation. It's mostly what I'd be looking for. Just stuff I can nod my head to.
You know, it's a great compilation there that you brought up, Helmet. That album, Judgment Night. One of the best out there, man. The gospel, according to compilations.
No, you're talking to him.
Yeah, once you get the out of Rory, you know you're in for a chat with him. Then
it was Betty, the first album I listened to, and then it was the album with FBLA2 on it. The red one with the blue strip of their name, but I just remember buying them on CD and just not like just listening to them constantly. Like,
so like you're first and foremost a bass player. You're not another one of those things that keeps coming up on the show that, I'm a guitarist, but I'm the bass player in the band.
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
but you're not, though.
It kind of started out weird, because like usually it's a guitar player going to bass, but I think bass was the first thing I played, and then I went to guitar afterwards. It was weird. I think it was my sister bought a combo thing where you can get a bass and an amp with it, but she only wanted the amp, so she just gave me the bass.
Right.
And then I just stuck away at that for years, then started getting better at it.
Cool.
Writing my own stuff, it was a good crack.
Where did the name come from, actually, lads?
That Dan actually came up with that name.
Right.
And Yeah, do you want to talk about it? Because
Yeah, we were.
it's your idea.
Well,
Leave more
I
to you.
suppose when we started, we kind of actually went under a name. It was pretty stupid. I called Q4,
Right.
and then Noel was
It
kind
was
of just
actually.
like.
It
I
sounds
wasn't
like
about
Noel.
it. I wasn't about it that bad.
Yeah, Noel came up to my house one day, and we were sitting down. He was like, "Here, bud, we need to do something about that name." And
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
if you want me to join, that name has to be
Dude,
true.
one stage and he announces it's Q4, lads. I swear to God.
he was like, probably call us the four queers, Dan. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, and then he was like, and there's 5 of us. So
Yeah,
I was like, right, yeah. But we were sitting down on it then for about a week or two, I'd say, nearly, and we were just sitting down every day, and we were like, name. And then just kind of came to me following the signs. I was like, it's got something to it. And Noel was like, yeah, you have something there. Like, I like that. So we kind of brought it forward to everyone else then, and everybody was like, yeah, that's class. We'll use that.
Who did the logo?
It was actually a friend of mine. I actually don't even know how. I can't remember how I met him, but like he was like,
I think it
I'll
was
design
college.
it. Could have been college, yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere like that. But
He's not one of those guys now. If you make it, lads, in 5 years' time, he's gonna come out of the fucking closet and go, for fuck's sake, that's my money.
No.
he's well handled there already. He's sorted for that. But
The logo was paid for, so that's it.
yeah, like but yeah, he was like, oh, I'll try this out and see what you think. And then he sent me the intertwined letters. We were actually thinking of it because we were like, I know we kind of got influenced by Parkway Drive on that, I suppose, as well, because they have
Yeah.
like a P.
Well, we knew that, like, you know, because we have a long name. It can't be
Yeah.
like following the
Yeah,
signs.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
so
just-
we had to, like, you know, shorten it. So we were like, let's take every first letter
and
and
just
let's intertwine
splash
it
together.
and make it look like a crest or something, and
Yeah.
just something sick.
yeah.
And we came out with that, and
Yeah.
we just really liked it. It was like something you could have, you know.
Like
As
a
like-
proper logo kind of deal.
Yeah, it's
the
like a
style of it
proper
was actually
logo.
made from the Joe the Sword and Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where the actual
Never
kind of the
inside
letter
one.
placement
All right. Okay.
kind of came from. It was kind of just off the hilt of the sword and stuff like that.
So you're gonna kind of keep that template for next.
Oh, we have to. Here's the tattoo of it.
Yeah,
That's where I was getting.
yeah.
I saw a
have it on
picture
the
of
wrist. Yeah, I have it on the wrist there, so I'll probably keep that. But look, if we change it, I'll just have to get
Memories.
another one. I'll just have to get another one of it, and then when we change it again, just get a big back piece. And
No, I like it. I kind of want to keep it because
Yeah.
it's like it's really good. Like, even if we get different ones, I think it'll always come back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's something
Um,
that'll reoccur mostly.
Right, I'm gonna have to test your memory there. What would be one of your most favorite bands that you've played with, supported?
Oh, I'm gonna like. Oh, it's a close one for me. It's a
Right.
close one for me. So I'll give 2 of them a shout out.
Yeah, give 2 out. Yeah.
Deck and Wait. I really like them. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're
It's
good.
just when I hear them, it's just like, especially when I hear them live, it's just I can bop along to them, and it's
Yeah.
very kind of like, oh, that's kind of sick. It's kind of like stuff I kind of write, you know.
Right.
So there's like a connection there with them. But they'd be a close second if I had to say number 1. I'm not just saying it now because they're on the bill, like, but it's 4-0, like,
Okay.
because
Yeah, 4-0.
I don't know what it is about them, like, but like they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
So
That's
Um,
yours, Noel. Dan.
I'd say Creep, definitely from Dublin.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
they're
that's
one of the best bands I've played with yet. Or even Razor Sharp Death Blizzard from Scotland. We
Oh,
actually
yeah,
supported
yeah.
them.
Have to give them a
That's
shout
nice
out.
Yeah.
shout out.
One of
I
my favorite
forgot
chips
about them.
lads.
I forgot about them.
Jamie.
I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
Jamie.
I actually left my hat in
Yes.
Dublin when we played with them, and now they actually still go every gig they play. Their guitar player Daz wears
They
my
have it.
fucking snapback on stage. It's fucking
They're
hilarious.
fucking characters, man.
Yeah, every time there's a photo taken of that hat, I look at my phone and they're like, "Can you spot it?" And I'm just like, "Oh, look, there's my
Oh,
hat."
One more as well. Eden Debris.
Eden Debris.
They,
Fucking,
they have
yeah.
to get a shout out because they're sick as well.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
Jeez, that's mad now. I saw Razor Sharp Death Blizzard at the Urban Assault.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
They were
that's
fucking
right. They were here
class,
this
man.
year for that one.
100%.
What?
They were over that time for this.
Yeah,
one.
I'd love for him to come back. I don't know. I'm sure they'd love to come back too.
We
you know?
actually contacted them for the EP launch,
Did you?
and
Yeah.
we were talking to Jamie, like, and he was just like, you know, because the ferry and everything, like,
Yeah.
he was just like, and we were like, yeah, we completely understand. Like, we would just like to have you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we-
Yeah,
they're a nice group of lads. Like, we like them.
Rory, you're
I'd say it was
Selections.
probably Dirty Power. Like,
Dirty
just like
Power,
just
yeah.
like, even though like we were just done playing, like, I don't know, it just felt nice, like, because you were, we're done now, we can relax for the rest of the night. It just puts you in like a proper mindset to listen for him as well. Like, it was just, I don't know, it's like one of those like I don't know if you see like any particular band, like you was talking about Megadeth or Alice in Chains, it like puts you where you used to be, like, or in
Yeah.
a place. Like, it's
Yeah.
just good to think about stuff like that, I feel.
so Dirty Power.
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good because we got to meet them kind of bands through Metal to the Masses as well. Like we had ourselves Infectious from Dublin, Imrama from Limerick, and then Dirty Power and Creep all in one heat from Metal to the Masses.
Jesus Christ, some talent pool there. Like.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it was really good.
If I was to be a judge for it, like,
Yeah,
if I was to be a judge for it, it would be too hard to call. Like, 'cause you've got so many different style of bands there playing, and they were all just.
And you kind of look as well at the bands that made it over to Bloodstock this year. You know, Asect, Lockhorns, Black Shuck. You know, fuck's sake, like.
Yeah, they're all insane bands. Like, they're all really good.
But that's the good thing about the scene now. I think the talent is like, it's really good.
It's really hard to fucking get to those things. Like, I definitely. Like I deliberately left out 10 Ton Sluggins that I'd called because they're on another level. You know what I mean? But for the bands that did make it over, and then Black Shuck, like who were supposed to play the Jägermeister tent, who couldn't play it because the fucking storm, then get on the Sophie Lannister stage, you know, which to play to all those fucking people, like.
Yeah, I think though that's a big drive as well in probably every band in the scene. Like you see those kind of bands going up doing that kind of stuff, and you're like, yeah, well if that's what it takes, like, you know, you have to up the game. I think that kind of sets a bar for everyone, but at the same time it's still supportive of it, like, because everyone's delighted to hear an Irish band got to do that. And
that's it. Like.
What I like the most about it though, especially with all the bands, you know, like around Ireland playing, it's just like we're not all driving, like in the scene we're not all driving for one sound like you would with other places. It's like it's just so dynamic.
It is.
Really is.
And again, you've like the likes of Baylor or Worn Out as well doing their own
and you know,
well, like.
Words That Burn, and
it's just fucking, it's just crazy out there for talent. And like a band like now that have an EP coming out as well, I mean, you really have to get the traction going, you know. And
it's kind of been since we got the dates for release and stuff. We've all been kind of saying like, Joe, it's time to put the foot down and just finish out
like
the year.
This is
with
only
a bang.
the start. Like,
it is. It's only the beginning for us, really. Like whereas most people would say like they're finishing a year in gigs, like we're only kind of starting our year again in gigs.
Far from over.
Like, we don't start with the year. Like we kind of start like we kind of liked that it's dropping around this time because, you know, we like to drop at the late time in the year because it's just a better time for us. We prefer it, you know, doing gigs at this weather, and you know.
I tell you now, as I said, just the amount of stuff that's dropped already this year. Like, I mean, it's just incredible. You've got God Loans one coming up now.
I was just gonna say it, God Loans,
and fucking Grey Stag as well, another band you played with.
Yeah, that's
they're
right.
They're really good.
You know, so I mean, you know, at least yours is going to be out before those, you know, so that's good.
Just drop it in the middle of October. Everything's okay.
Yeah. So that's it, lads. Thanks a million for coming on.
Thank you
very much for having us.
Appreciate it.
That's so cool, and I just wish you nothing but success. I fucking love the two songs that you've given us, and we're going to be ending with Withdrawn. So that's it. If you want to contact me, contact themetalcell@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook and Instagram at the Metal Cell, and again, thanks to Following the Signs for coming on. Cheers,
Thank
lads.
you.
Thanks for having
Thank
us. Loved it.
Over and out.